You've heard of having brass knuckles, but how about 12-gauge knuckles? That's some power in your punch, baby.
Today we're looking at the rather amazing Speedloader Swift for both double and single shotguns. Now these are marketed for double barrel shotguns, but as you'll see later, they have a bonus benefit for singles as well. Speedloader Swifts are manufactured in the UK and are sold here in Canada by North Trail Sports, who can be found at www.northtrailsports.com. They come in packs of 2 and 4, but get the 4. You'll be glad you did. The Speedloaders are simply a polymer shell holder with a tab that lets you comfortably hold them between 2 fingers. You put the shot shells in the holders and then grasp the tab. They work just as well with side-by-sides and over-unders. Now, I've owned these for years, and they've stood up tremendously well, but I got the new Ricol 1214 recently, which we've decided to name Little Joe, partly because I love Bonanza as a kid, but also in honor of Joe Biden and his rather comical double-barrel defense comments. Hey Joe, that's not a double-barrel shotgun, that's a double-barrel shotgun. And I will say this, Little Joe has very tight chambers with fairly sharp edges, and this is by far the most difficult of my doubles to use these with. That's an easy fix, but remember, this is as hard and as slow as it gets with these things. As you can see here, the shells just snap into place and you're ready to go. Loading involves dropping the whole thing into the chambers and pulling a little to the side. This makes it very easy for beginners. You put the thing in the thing and you close the thing. It's that simple. And like I said, most of my guns, it's actually much easier to use these with. The big advantage is that you can now hold shells in your hand while you shoot the gun. This is very comfortable, and it's just as easy to hold 2 or 4 extra shells at the ready, as you'll see in a minute. For years, guys have tried the cigar method of holding ready rounds, and some even keep it in their mouths and whatnot. I'd be a little afraid of sneezing and blowing off my upper molars, but whatever. This is much easier and much more comfortable and requires no juggling or dental work. So let's start off with 2 in hand. Here I am firing 2 shots and reloading. Not bad for a first try, though I was still getting used to Little Joe's more finicky chambers. A few more trial runs and I was ready to give 4 a shot. Sadly, it was starting to rain on us and we had to pack up after this shot, and I hadn't even finished a box of ammo playing with these, but even with just a little bit of practice, I was getting the hang of using them with this gun. Now, watch how fast this goes. Take a look at these guys right here. Those 2 rounds have been through the initial recoil of the first 2 shots, then all the hand motions I needed to do in order to load the second 2 rounds, then the recoil from those 2, and as you can see, they're hanging in there with no problems. I don't even feel them. They're just hanging around at the end of the gun doing their own thing till I need them. And that's consistent. I've never lost a shell out of these things. Now, for those who were counting, that was about 10 seconds to fire 6 aimed rounds and load 4 of them. That's with next to no practice with a new gun and a tight-fitting gun at that. I'm pretty sure with a bit more practice I could get that down to around 6 to 8 seconds. Compare that to loading 4 rounds and shooting 6 out of a pump-action shotgun. I don't think you're giving up a whole lot of time to the pump. Oh sure, a competition shooter using a load 2 system or the like is going to run away with it, but for the average shooter who doesn't get a lot of time to practice, I'm not sure that they're going to load and shoot 6 aim shots much faster than it would take with this gun to do even with a shell caddy or the like. For those of us that live in places where we can't always keep our shotguns loaded, that's kind of interesting. We'll have to do a side-by-side comparison one of these days and see what the difference really is. But either way, that's certainly faster than what most people think of when they're thinking double-barrel shotguns. The Speedloaders can fit nicely into regular shot shell holders, belts as in this case, or even Velcro cards as pictured here. And you can grab 2 at a time and still grab a third for the initial load. This lets you load 2 fast and still have 4 more rounds ready on hot standby. But while I was fiddling around for this video, something hit me. Would this also be useful for single shotguns as well? I had to find out. It might not be as fast as a double, but it's nice to have rounds ready for singles too, and this might just work for that. Hey, you guys like apples? Well, how about them apples? It works perfect, and it did on my other singles too, and it lets you feed singles and still have rounds at the ready. Both shells fell quite easily into the gun, and it's obviously much faster than fiddling around in your pockets for additional rounds or trying to grab them off a belt. Generally speaking, I like doubles or pumps for camp defense because I'm a shoot twice, bury once kind of guy, but a lot of guys like packing very light and very easy to carry singles with them on backpacking trips or quad camping where space may be at a premium or as a truck gun. Mount them on the stock and they're out of the way when you're shooting, but if you need to grab your gun, you can trigger the action release with one hand and grab a fistful of firepower with the other. And you're loaded and ready to go with 3 more rounds in hand. And it's just more convenient at the range, too. So there you go, the Speedloader Swift. For doubles and singles, it's a great idea that just keeps getting better. Pick up a pack today and get out there and make some noise and burn some powder yourself. And remember to click the like button and subscribe to see more reviews in the future.